Hi. All right, so let's talk about what happens at companies. Bad decisions, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Bad decisions happen because of poor communication and coordination across teams and hierarchies. The most valuable knowledge is stuck in people's heads. There are two examples. Company A didn't understand what was happening in people's heads, so employees on the ground knew the product was utterly behind schedule, but the executives didn't, shipped late, cost them $20 million. Company B didn't understand what was in people's heads, led to $60 million of investments into internal projects that were doomed to fail for reasons that managers already knew about months in advance. Both entirely preventable, caused by information never being well understood, effectively routed, and escalated. How would you get this intelligence in time? Is it written down somewhere in SharePoint, Notion, Slack, emails, or wikis for an AI to suck up and read? No, it's in people's heads. So those of you who've led companies or teams with over 100 people know what it's like. You don't know everybody's name. You don't even know what all of their jobs are. And there comes a time when the org starts fragmenting, developing silos, becoming misaligned. And the only people whom you really have a connection to are your senior leadership. And you're sort of questioning as you're listening to them explain to you why things are late again. Are they bullshitting me? And many times you have a great leadership team that you can trust. But do they really have time to go deep with everyone? Of course not. And so you have this urge to get to the root cause. And so maybe you have one-on-ones with all the reports and everyone at the company. We talk to enterprise startup leaders, CEOs, COOs, VPs. And when the teams were small, that's exactly what they did. And it worked great. Having these one-on-ones allowed them to break down silos, educate people, and improve systems, while making sure that every person in the company felt heard. But the team grows and you don't have time for regular one-on-ones with 30 or 50 or 100 people. People get nervous. They've heard about your biases, your favorite people. No one's telling you the whole truth anymore. So you start doing skip level meetings, but that's so inefficient. You try hiring a chief of staff to do these interviews, but hiring staff doesn't scale. So you try surveys, quarterly all hands, weekly Q&As, documenting in Notions, posting in Slack, but none of those worked. And the only thing that ever worked was all of those one-on-ones you used to do when the team was small. So imagine a world where it's easy to understand what's going on, where it's easy to see the misalignment, information gaps, blockers, and more. Now, AI has advanced to the point where it can talk in an empathetic and direct way where people like to talk to it. Halo is an AI tool that confidentially talks with employees and asks them the same types of strategic questions that leaders would if they had infinite time, high finesse, compassion, and context. Halo automatically figures out how that feedback affects the bottom line. And people trust the system because it transforms their raw feedback to make it actionable, constructive, and business-oriented. That means that any employee who shares anything with Halo is always creating valuable new intelligence that they can be proud of. Halo analyzes the implications of what everyone across the org has shared. It uses that to follow up with better questions. It figures out when and whom to ask for clarification. It shares its understanding of the situation with the right person in a way that's directly relevant to their goals. This avoids a ton of meetings and accelerates decision-making. Several senior executives we've spoken with are so fired up about using Halo. And employees are excited because they want to be truly heard and get credit for sharing valuable perspectives across the company. And for the first time, this knowledge is extracted from people's heads and documented, enabling an entirely new generation of applications to be built on top of valuable new data.
All right, thanks, Hari. Let me get to a quick demo. Thank you. Sorry about that. You guys with me now? Still here? All right, cool. So I want to stop. I want to pause and take a moment and show you what's going on here, right? It looks like a Slack bot, but there's a lot of intelligence behind the scenes. Here, our friendly Halo assistant talks to an employee. Hurry, hey, or Hardik, by the way, complimented you for the insight that you provided last week, which unblocked a project for me. I, as an employee, I'm really excited because the information that I shared is adding value to my company. I feel valued, I feel appreciated. So at that point, Halo is then going to ask, hey, by the way, is there anything else that you'd like to share? Anything on your top of your mind? And now I'm excited to share more and also nervous because there's another project I'm working on which might be delayed by 4 to 6 weeks. So Halo is trying to understand this information, look at all of the other information it's gathered from the organization and asking clarifying questions. Why do you think the project is going to be delayed? So think of this, if I didn't have Halo, I would probably go to my manager would go to someone else. So there's a lot of these interactions that happen, which now Halo is capturing natively without having people reach out to each and every one. So, Hari is going to provide that information, systems are not working, we have to re-architect, so it's going to delay the project, et cetera, right? So what's happening behind the scenes is now Halo takes this information, it's going to go to my other teammates, people in the organization that might have information about this project and interview them, do those one-on-ones, try to gather more information, synthesize it, and then come up with a crisp insight and a report that's going to be shared with the team members, leadership, and other people who are related to this particular project. So now, cut over to the leadership. Leadership gets an insightful report every day of the top 5 things, top 3 things that they should look at. Here's what's going on in your company, things that you would not know or probably know, but here's the thing that you should care about. So here you see Halo says, this project Frisco is going to get delayed by 6 weeks now. The other things are fine. I don't care too much about it, but I can have a conversation with Halo. Tell me more. Why do you think that this particular project is going to go down 6 weeks in the pipeline? And then, I'll just build this up. But you can see that there's a conversational interface where you can keep asking questions, get more insights. So what did it do? This actually unlocked the time for an exec who would otherwise go and do one-on-ones with 10, 15, 100 people to get more information. So we're scaling the time, scaling the effort that people have to otherwise spend to get that information. And how do we build it?
Thank you for that demo, Hari. Let's get into the architecture. Halo is an intelligent interviewing system that talks to each of your employees, gathering critical feedback. It anonymizes, synthesizes, and saves all that data, crafting careful information that is extremely valuable for the top management. It looks like there are a lot of things going on here. It has a sequence of agentic workflow. There's an interviewer agent, an extraction agent, a clarification agent, a verification agent, and finally, an agent that actually gathers the insight and delivers it to your top management. It looks like quite a complex system. That's because it is. And that's why we're the perfect team to build it. I've led engineering at Zoho and helped them scale from few thousands of users to multiple millions of businesses. Hardik is a whiz with agentic workflows and has 14 years of experience in data analytics. Hari is a 2X founder and knows the ins and outs of building and scaling a system like this. We're not just sitting up in our rooms imagining that this is a problem and building a solution. We've spoken to 71 customers, 12 C-suite members, 15 Fortune 500 members, and the need is clear. Some people are so excited about it. We have 2 CEOs of 100 and 600 employees each who've agreed to pilot with us, all over the course of a weekend. You can see that the problem is real. Who are we starting off with? We're looking for team leaders who manage 50 plus employees, who make high impact, high cost decisions. We want to start off with CEOs and COOs of high growth startups and senior management of mid-enterprise regions. Why do we think this problem is worth solving at scale? Well, because the market is huge. With just $20 per user per month, we need just 2,500 orgs of 200 employees each to reach 100 million ARR, which we hope to get to in year 3. By year 10, if we capture just 1% of the total available market, we will get to 900 million ARR. If this is such an exciting market, why are we the only people competing here? Well, we're not. There are tons of people who are trying to solve different chunks of the same problem. But Halo has a strategic advantage, and Halo is the only company that can solve for employee feedback at scale, generate actionable insights, build an internal repository that contains knowledge, and leverage org-wide knowledge. And it's also the only system that's scalable now. Our only biggest competition is humans, and we know humans can't scale as much. With that, I'd like to say, use Halo, make optimal, well-informed decisions, and accelerate revenue growth for your organization. Every organization's biggest problem is communication and collaboration. If you solve for that, you can win the game. Our ask, we want introductions to C-suite members and managers. We're also excited to talk to advisors who are excited about this project. We'll be over by the foosball table if you want to come and talk to us. Thank you.